Welcome into the Wolves halftime show. We're pleased to be joined by our first guest here, linebacker Jaylin Parnell. And Jaylin, we appreciate you swinging by and joining us.
Thank you. It's been a while. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Jaylin, you just came back from going up north, getting across Canada. I'm glad you guys were able to get up there and make it back with all that travel. But just kind of recap there. It was nice for the guys to get out there, pick up the first win of the season.
Yeah, it was a great time, honestly. It was kind of stressful during the week because of the whole vaccination process and trying to cross the border over there. But I thought we did a really good job of staying focused and really just keeping our eyes on our job and getting it done, honestly, for our first win. So it was great.
What was the mindset, too? Like we said, throughout, seems like each year, it's always a difficult non-conference schedule, which, Arn puts together, which really helps this team with the places you guys go to and the teams you play. How much does that help prepare you for, when we get into the GNAC here and then, you opened up with Simon Fraser?
Just playing teams like Colorado School of Mines or Texas A&M Kingsville, those teams are really good. And so, I think it sets us up great to see the caliber of athletes we get to see earlier in the season and then go into GNAC and see the same type of guys. Like, I don't know, you're just prepared throughout the whole season to play some really good teams.
How nice was it when we first went out there? It seems crazy that it's been almost 2 years when we had a kickoff, but I remember we talked about it through spring ball and then getting through the summer, and just keeping that grind going. So when you guys got to the fall to actually get on the field, how neat was it just to get back out there back in Colorado when we had that first kickoff and just that rush of emotion that you guys hadn't had in almost 2 years?
It felt kind of surreal at first when we got out there. I didn't even know how to act, honestly, because it had literally been 2 years since we had been on the field. And being out there with the guys, getting the road trip, even just the road trip there was crazy. Just being on the field when the game started, the kickoff, it really didn't hit me.
How much did it help you, too? Because, we kind of thought about this as it was such a unique year, for obvious reasons. But, we had 2 recruiting classes that basically came in. They didn't get a chance to play. The 20 guys, basically just stayed, had to wait, and then, basically train with you guys, and the 21 class comes in. How unique was this year, and how fortunate did you feel, at least to be a returner? Because at least you knew, the system. Yeah. You'd been in the program. You kind of were familiar with Woo. How much do you think that kind of helped you through the process this past year and a half?
Personally, I just, it helped me know what to expect coming from the coming year. But for those guys who were freshmen last year and then freshmen again this year, I think it would be pretty stressful. They didn't know really what to expect. They didn't get to see the season before as red shirts and see what kind of is expected of us. And, I think that would be a tough thing to do. But a lot of them have done a really good job of staying focused and competing their butts off every week. So.
When we look individually at your game, it's always impressive to watch you out there. It's always fun to watch you, week in and week out with the way you're all over the field from your linebacker spot. What was kind of the main things you worked on? Because we saw you have a really big, year in 2019. You've even improved on it more. We've seen you out in coverage, making big plays there. You get a blocked field goal this past week. Seemed like whatever you need to be doing in your assignment, you're always willing to take it on. Is that kind of the things you worked on, in the offseason, hoping to be even more of that kind of utility guy on the field for the team?
Yeah, pretty much. My linebackers coach, Coach Slowey, he's done a really good job of putting in a lot of time with us in the off season when we were allowed to with the COVID protocols and whatnot, and he's let us get a lot of extra work in when not everybody does that, and so it was really nice to get a lot of extra work in with him. We've worked a lot on our technical skills and stuff like that, so. Yeah, I think that's really helped me throughout this whole season. I don't know if I would be where I was at without him. So
that was going to be my next point, too. How nice is it to have, the very versatile and talented staff we have. You got Coach Ferguson, who, is a Woo alum, been here in the program for a long time. Coach Slowey, of course, went on into the league. How nice is it to have guys like that you can lean on and talk to that, have been there and done that.
It's an amazing feeling because, especially during the games, just they'll be able to see tendencies and what they're what they're out there doing on the field and stuff. So just being able to ask how should I change how I hit this blitz or what should I be looking for pre-snap, it's really a good feeling because you can really shorten up their play call list just by doing that.
And now, we can't go without saying it finally. 4 games in, we've gone a whole month being away. You guys played in 3 different states, got up to Canada. How exciting is it to know that we've got, these 4 home games this year to be able to get out there and be out there on the home field? What's the rush going to be like? It's probably going to be like the first game of the year again, right? Getting a chance to play in that first game again.
It's going to be great. I know I'm excited. My family's going to be there. I know all my teammates' families going to be there. It'll be nice walking through the tailgating section right before the game, getting to see all the fans. School's in session, so everybody should be here. It's not like we're playing before school starts, so all the students will be there. It'll be a really good time, man.
And why you mentioned the tailgating, well, if I'm not out there for the second half, you know where I'm at. So appreciate you coming by, Jaylin.
Yep.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming by. Great to see you. And, best of luck this season. We'll be catching up with you soon.
Appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
And now we go into our next segment here on the Wolves Halftime Show. We're pleased to be joined by versatile running back Omari Land. And Omari, we appreciate you joining us as well.
It's a pleasure to be here.
We're just going off of kind of like what we talked with Jaylin, just getting through those first 4 games of the year. How nice was it to kind of cap off that road swing and pick up the win over Simon Fraser last time out?
It was great. We had a tough start to the season, trying to find our grounds and get things rolling and put a whole drive together, So last week we finally got that, and we finally got that camaraderie and that whole team effort to get things going and get the ball rolling. And so we ended up coming out with a dub, and it was nice.
You had to be really pleased to see from the ground attack, running the ball, you run for over 200 yards, we run for over 300 yards total as a team. How nice is it to see it not only when you've got things going, but also to see like Andrew and the other guys picking up, big gains behind the offensive line?
It's great to see it. Shout out to the big dogs up front, dominating them trenches last game. And like you said, seeing Dom and all the other guys, and even Ryan, he found his legs and he started getting loose. And it's really good to see because once multiple people start getting out like that, there's multiple threats on the offense, and then there's just more keys for the defense to have to try to figure out what we're going to do about this guy and what we're going to have to do about that guy. So seeing those guys get out there and have fun and just break loose is just a great time.
How much it helped, too, playing those first 2 games because we ran into really tough defenses. Of course, Colorado Mines is one of the top defenses in the nation. Kingsville had improved their defense, Portland State being Division I. How nice was it kind of going through those 3 teams to kind of prepare for the GNAC, and then having the game you guys put together?
Yeah, so coming off of no season to the prior year and then coming and playing a school like Colorado School of Mines was a really crazy experience because we've just been so long since we've been able to play football, and then coming and playing against a defense like that is pretty crazy because they're a well-trained and well-talented football team. So being able to go against guys like that really get us ready to keep the season going, and as we drive throughout the season and get longer down the road and start facing our GNAC teams and the other Texas teams, and now we got a Lincoln coming at the end of the season, so I'm really excited to see what our offense and our defense does coming up after playing such versatile and well-trained teams in the past.
Another thing I think that really helped too, not just mention those games, you play Portland State, we're in that game, real close contest, 21-7. How much confidence helped give you guys too playing that game? It was kind of a home game for us because you'd been to Colorado, you'd been down to Kingsville. There was a short bus ride, going just the hour and a half up to Hillsboro. How nice was it to have that? We had a lot of fans there as well, and kind of, play in the home state and play against a, Division I team.
It was great to play against a Division I team, especially Portland State, since it's right around the corner, so it's almost like playing at home. But going up there and playing guys like that of that caliber talent and seeing that we could actually play with those guys and we have the opportunity to make plays and make things happen and stop them with our defense and then make plays on them and score with our offense, it's a really great feeling. It really brings hope and pride to our team and what we do here and what we train for and what we accomplish.
How much was it, too? You kind of touched on it a little bit, but we go into the Colorado School of Mines game. It's been so long, almost 2 years there before we had a game. What was kind of your mindset going in of just, staying ready, going through when we had the spring game? Even having the spring game was, a huge deal in the spring. Felt like we finally had a game again, and then just carrying that through the summer to get you ready for the fall season.
So that was it was a great experience to even have football back once again because, we've had that year and a half off. And so getting back to it, including the spring and all that, it was super fun. And then everybody was hyped and pumped. The blood was flowing. Everybody was agitated and just ready to get out there. So come game time, Colorado, it was like JP said, it was surreal. Stepping on that field, it felt like it was never going to come. So when that time came, everybody was just ready. We got on that field. We weren't quite ready for what was coming, but, we found our feet a little bit and we started getting things rolling. And then as the season started pushing forward and as things got rolling, we, as a team started to come together a little bit more and more piece by piece as a more cohesive unit. And so just all that and everything we've experienced in the past, I just want to say we're ready for these next upcoming games, especially today's game right now against West Texas.
You know, we've seen you with the versatility, like I talked about at the start of the show. You know, how nice is it to be able to show that? Because, you know, we've seen you run between the tackles. You break it outside, get in the flat, you know, catch it in out of the pass, out of the backfield. You know, what's kind of something that you tried to want to work on, you know, going into this year to try to improve on?
Really was my game out of the backfield because last year I had a lot of rushing yards, and my A game was rushing the ball straight from the backfield, hands off. So this last offseason, I really tried to work on my getting out of the pocket, receiving game, and helping out the offense when we're third down in long situations. I really want to be that guy that you could depend on and lean on and kind of help out and take that pressure off the other guys when things might not be too sweet or it's getting a little complicated or we just need to put our feet in the ground and just get going. So I just want to work on being more capable and more agile and more flexible so my team could use me in the best capabilities to where we could go out and get these dubs.
All right, Omari. Well, we really appreciate you swinging by, and we're looking forward to these 4 home games this season. I know you are as well, and it was great getting some insight from you. Best of luck this season. We'll see you again here soon.
Thank you. Let's beat West Texas, man.